Yo, 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 what's good, family? This your boy, Mr. Check My Resume. I'm here to bring you the watch list call for the week of February 28th through March the 4th. Here to give you the longer version of my watch list from the day. So if you checked out the Alpha Pack watch list call, you were able to hear a good portion of the plays that I'm looking at for the week. But also I've got some longer extended thoughts on some of these tickers. So let's get right into it. All right, first one I have on my list, we're going to jump into energy, and that's Halliburton. And simply put, on Halliburton, we know what oil is doing. We know what the energy sector is all about. So we just kind of been just playing it all the way up. I think over the last couple of weeks, we had a little bit of sideways movement. But what it's really been is like bearish, bearish, bearish for a couple of days, and then a huge pop on the sector. So that's what we've been getting. So I think with this little bit of consolidation, right in the midst of all this war activity, doesn't fundamentally make sense with the price of barrels increasing and things of that nature. So we're pretty solid. We know this is a manipulated sector, and so they're controlling price here. But this one, the expectation is it will continue to move upwards. So in terms of Halliburton, I'm just looking for a reversal here on the week. This two down, is one of my patented setups that I look for. It's not giving you the most bearish look. The most bullish look. It looks more bearish than bullish just based on, the colors of the candlesticks. But I think you have to recognize that fundamentally we're still strong and bullish. And so there's really no reason to get out of oil. There's nothing fundamentally that tells us that. With Halliburton, we've got the reversal above $33.24. If you took this trade with me initially, we took the February 18, 20. Well, we took the January 24 strikes and the February 25 strikes. Each of those went over well over 1,000%. I think that actually the February's, I don't know, I think they went maybe like 2,000%. I can't remember. I got out of Halliburton, took January's, and I left the February's, and I got out maybe a week before expiration on Halley, maybe 2 weeks. So I didn't catch like the full. I didn't get every drip drop out of it, but I was also an Oxy at XOM, so I got plenty of exposure there. So anyway, Halliburton looking solid. Next one I have for the week, I got CCJ. CCJ is another energy stock. I was taking a look at it. Actually, Thursday during the watch list call, we saw, some potential with CCJ. It actually did do pretty decent on Friday. So looking at going forward, I typically don't play outside week triggers. The primary reason here is that I'm looking at the monthly trigger, this 312. So that's really what I'm focusing on, but we do have an early entry here on the week. So you could take the two up on the week at 22.82, or you can wait to see what tomorrow's close is for 312 on the month. So you could look at a 23.81 as the level that, is currently there. So if CCJ does not go over $1 tomorrow, then which would be like a 5% move, so it's a pretty significant move. If it doesn't go over $1 tomorrow, then your trigger point would be 23.81. But I'm gonna do another watch list tomorrow with only monthly triggers on it. So I'll have one specific for that. So currently we got a pimping limping on the week, 213 LBC. With this 312 potential for the month on Tuesday or later. So like CCJ, haven't played it, but I will take an opportunity on it. Next one we've got here is XOM, the big dog, top shata. So we got XOM, looking at a couple triggers here. First of which, why do I have 2 months on here? Okay, let's switch that. All right, perfect. So now on XOM, We've got an inside day set up from Friday. So we got a 312 above 77.99. And again, there's not much to talk about there with XOM and oil. We know what it's doing. We know what it's going to do. So it's giving us an entry. It's not going to give us the most beautiful looking entry because they don't want us in there. And I would imagine that Fuchs is probably pushing up on these stocks, and Exxon in particular will benefit from that. So looking for this TTO to kind of push back upwards. We'll see what happens throughout the rest of the week, but we're super bullish on energy stocks. I mean, it's 2+2. So just throwing those out there. The triggers or the setups don't look as good as some others, but you've got those macros that kind of give you a sense of what's really going to happen. So if oil's coming down, it's only temporarily. So now we're just trying to catch the reversal back into continuity. Now let's keep it going. Now we're moving out of energy. I did want to touch on a couple financials. If we do get the rate hikes, these should benefit particularly. I want to talk about one. I talked about Goldman Sachs on the call, so I won't go too deep into that one. Kind of laid that out pretty clear. Just to reiterate, we've got the 22 rev above 350.70. That's our target point there. I would really like to see the month go green tomorrow and flipping into a 312 going into next month on Tuesday. So we know what it is. Goldman Sachs is kind of an outlet for me. It's more of a longer term fundamental play. It could fail on us. We don't know, but I like the way oil sets up and the fundamentals are there for it to go. We just got to be patient. That's it. Just be patient. Next one here is Upstart. I saved a lot of people some money on Upstart. Telling them to stay away. At the time, it was about $400. So we have done a significant drop. We've got a hammer week inside. And so we're looking for a trigger point above 139.54 on Upstart. This one looks solid again, another financial. If we get the movement I expect here to continue, we're going into March. I don't know if they'll be able to expedite the rate hikes like they intended, but with the sentiment being what it is, we'll eventually get there. But again, it's about patience. That's really what it's about on these financials. If we don't get the trigger, we don't take the trade. That's pretty much what it is. I'm gonna lay out what's in front of me and what I see, but you've got to make the call. Don't take the triggers if the setup's not there. So don't aimlessly jump in these plays. Next one I want to talk about, I want to get into staples a little bit. I touched on K. Roger during the call, Kroger. This one here is one we've been in and we've been playing pretty regularly. So I feel like we have a good understanding of what Kroger wants to do. It claimed that broadening formation, and that was one of my requirements last week. To even put target on my list for this week is that it had to claim that broad information and close above it. And it did so in very strong fashion. So I like the way we're looking going into next month for Kroger. We've got the 22 rev above 46.65, and we've got the inside month. So again, looking at this inside month setup, 212. We'll see where it closes tomorrow. If it goes more than 45 cents tomorrow, we'll have a new high on that month candle. So that's why I haven't marked the level on my watch list. Oh, I haven't even posted my watch list yet. It's done, but I haven't posted it. Gotta hold out. All right. So moving on from K. Roger, we've got chicken. My boy Tyson. Again, we alerted Tyson, I don't know, man, a while back. 12/27. This was an epic week that I called out right here. This was the reversal. This was the sector rotation week where we got into oil and energy. Also, some industrials went off that week, like Lockheed Martin, which are still going. Also that week, we alerted some staples that have still been going, like Tyson Foods. We took the 22 rev here, December 27th, or Actually, here we go. Yeah, the week of December 27th, the 212. And we took that one. And actually, if depending on what strikes or expirations you bought, some people bought February expirations, so they were able to catch that full move to the $100 level. Some folks, they took their money and they got out at the top of that broad information around $95, which was wasn't a bad decision either. So it's just a function of how you played it. Tyson, it's another staple. It moves well, but it doesn't move like some of the others. So Tyson's one of those you just got to buy it and like leave it alone. It's not one you need. Like if you look at it every day, you're gonna like it's going to elicit emotions. It's not one that it's not one to follow on the intraday. All right, so keep it going. Now we're out of staples. We're going to touch on one ticker in utilities, and you know what that is because I play this one a lot, and that's SO. I like the way it fell last week. Gave us a nice 2-down hammer. Looking for this one to push back up. We're back in our buy area. I'd say, between 60 and 70 is where it trades or, for the most part. So we're right there in the middle of that range. We had a very strong drop last week and bounce, showing me the strength that I want to see. So I'll be looking for this one as well. I want to catch a reversal on the month on this one going into next month. So if I can get this weekly trigger, take me to about $70, and then maybe we can push up to above 70, 72 or something like that. So we'll see what happens on that one, but it is an outlier. It's one of those where I saw the setup and I was like, whoa. And, utilities have been disappointing me. They should have been performing a little better, but sometimes that happens. So you just got to roll with what you got. Next, I'm gonna get into some IT stocks, particularly semiconductors. I'm looking at ON Semiconductors. Talked about this one on the AlphaPat Watchlist call, so I won't spend too much time on it. But I like the stocks nobody else plays. So this one right here gave me, real bullish vibes. I like the setup on the month as well. We're looking for a 312 as well on the month. 22 rev with the hammer, close to trigger. I mean, there ain't much else to say. There's a little bit of conflict with the quarter and the year, but if you can see, we're already 2 up on the quarter. We had a very severe pullback, and we're making our way back to the top of that range. I like that one. I like that one the way it looks. Next one I'll talk about in the semis. We'll get into NVIDIA. Similar, same exact setup, so it's not like much else that I can say. Like this one here is doing the TTL, looks like on the month. We'll go green on NVIDIA above 251.04. So it will have to go $10 tomorrow to go green on the month. So it probably will not do that. But it's not out the realm of possibility for NVIDIA. They can move $10 pretty easily. Again, we're looking to take NVIDIA up to like the 300 range, 305, something like that. With some time, you're not going to expect to do that all in 1 month or 1 week. So be mindful of that. Next one I have on the list is AMD. Very similar setup to the last two I just mentioned. These like to go in bunches. They accrue. So we got again 212 on the month potentially. Got the 2-down hammer on the week. I'd say AMD isn't my favorite chip to play. I know FICO he murders AMD, but I think NVIDIA and some of the others I've had more success with. But ain't nothing wrong with AMD though. FICO used to tear that thing up too. So it's just about preference. When you get a whole sector that's in it together. When you get a whole sector that's in it together, you just kind of pick your poison, pick which one you like the best. Not to go through every one of them, but Intel, that one is one that I like a lot. I like the price level on it. I like the way the setup looks on the charts. And I like how much we dropped. I really like that. It's like I get value with AMD. I mean, sorry, Intel under 50 bucks. That's real solid value. So I like the way that sets up. All right, moving on. So you got QCOM and Marvell as well. I will show you Marvell. And on Marvell, similar deal, two down, hammer on the week. We're looking for a flip there that should take us back to green in the continuity. We'll have to flip this one on Tuesday and go from there. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, sorry to get back into it. So again, Marvell, same setup, 2-2 rev on the week. Above 69.32 is our level. So you got about 50-cent move. So that's what we're looking for. Very, straight to the point. So not to belabor microchips. I think I made my point there. Next one I want to get into is in industrials. So the first one on industrials. So the first one on industrials we'll talk about here is, hold on 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So now, as we get into it here, we just talked about Marvell. So we're going to keep going down the list. In industrials is what I just said. So first one in industrials we're looking at is fuel cell, just to follow up from the call out from Boss Gang last week. Definitely agree with what he's thinking and seeing on fuel cell. So we're looking at an entry above $5.38 on fuel cell. That also give you 2 up on the day. And if for any reason we go ballistic tomorrow, you got 589 as a level for a 2-2 rev on the month. But the more likely scenario is that we close, tomorrow, maybe, somewhere above, like close to 563. 563 would be our level for entry. And then you're pretty much set there. So then you would take magnitude, short term to like the $9 level. I think for me, I would need to get my broad information together and see what levels I could potentially take on a longer term. I think with the price point being what it is, I'll probably end up grabbing some commons as well and try to make a major move on this one when I get a solid reversal. So we'll see what happens, but I definitely like fuel cell. That's fire. Next one, similar setup, is Charge Point, 2 down, hammer on the week, above $13.87. We got a current inside month, but above, what is this? Above $14. We'll put you back green on the month, so it will have to go like 29 cents tomorrow. And we're looking for a 212 on the month, back to the upside. So technically above $15.52 would be that month trigger to go along with the week trigger of 1387. So we'll be looking out for Charge Point. I think the setup, they're all giving us the setup. I think another one I want to talk about I talked about Blink a pretty good bit, so I won't talk about that one. But we did take Plug as another one in the clean energy charging stations, similar deal, 2 down, hammer on the week. Above 2265 will be our entry point. And again, we're already green on the month, barely. So we're looking at a 212 going into next month, maybe above 24.15. Looks like that'll be a solid level. It won't, I don't think it'll go past that before through tomorrow. So next one I have in industrials would be Uber. And then with Uber, looking at a similar setup, 2 down on the week hammer, above 35.27 is your level. Also, we've got continuity to the downside. So again, I would need to see like a solid, strong move to move this one. But what I'm looking at here on Uber is that we're at the bottom of the range here on this monthly BF. And top of this BF is here, the 61, 62 level. So I'm looking at a major move. Just gotta be patient. Don't force it. So if it doesn't trigger or doesn't go in force, it's not a big deal. I wanna catch it when it actually reverses, but I won't miss it either. So I'm gonna have it there and keep my eye on it. Definitely like the way industrials are setting up, but it seems like the small caps, not the big ones. So now moving on, we're going to touch on one healthcare stock, and that's UNH, United Health. The sector itself has been bullish. So like most of those stocks in the sector are already 2 up. UNH is really the only one that's giving you a trigger point. But, my favorite in this sector is Abiva. Of course, you all know that. But again, with UNH, we've got the 2 down hammer on the week. It seems like a very common occurrence. Your entry level is above 475.78. We are 2 down on the month, so we're looking for a 122 on the month on Tuesday, above $500.93. We're currently in the inside quarter, so we have about a month left on the quarter. So we'll see if it goes 2 up, which, potentially if this trade goes right, it will. So looking for those, and then we would be back in full time frame continuity. And I like UNH. UNH is a good stock. It would just be trading back into continuity. So nothing, to write home about. There's a couple others that, I saw that, with bullishness, we could get some movement, but they are running opposite of the rest of their sector, like a Roku, where it's giving us a clean inside week setup. However, based on what the sector's been doing, I don't have any confidence that it will reverse. But what I did see is that it hit this major broadening formation on the gap down last week, and it's been trying to make its way up since then. So I don't have much confidence that it'll go, but it looks fire. So I definitely want to make mention of it because it does have a setup that looks pretty decent. What else do I have? And I think that's pretty much it. Don't want to get into too many other like stocks, but there is like a forward setup. Again, we're in that position on commons and leaps. We're looking for a potential reversal back on the week on Ford above $17.90. I am not bullish on discretionary, but I am bullish on Ford. So we'll see what happens there. It got, it's been beat up the last like month or two. So this may be time for it to kind of reverse up for a little bit. But again, this one will be more of like in the EV clean energy because they're making a lot of movement in that space. That's kind of what their focus has been with the company. So Ford is another one to keep your eye on. And that pretty much concludes my list for and so that'll pretty much conclude my list for the week. And I think the market don't don't, put too much stock in those sectors that kind of give you that 1 week pop, and then they give you like a bullish signal, and then boom, you get some, some negative news or a gap down or something like that. So just be mindful of that stuff. That's why I say stick to what we know to be true, and that's energy stocks as well as metals and mining, which is XME. Those stocks have been consistently green. They show green on the charts. There ain't much to debate about. And then I would say second tier would be consumer staples and healthcare. But besides those four in total, everything else is like we don't have anything to show us that it's going to move bullish in a bullish manner. So even with one good week, we could turn around and have a boom gap down, and then, everybody's like pissed off. So, it's one of those situations where you want to make sure that you are playing the probabilities to your favor. That's probably like the biggest thing is like, we're going to have this gap down tomorrow, but there's going to be some sectors that's going to go up, and it's probably going to be the sectors that have been going up. You see what I mean? Like, so for me, you just got to take a step back and not be such in a hurry to get into like those other sectors that ain't been doing nothing. So, so just shake your own bias, just take an unbiased approach and you'll be fine. Stick to what you know to be true. Energy, metals, and mining have been going up pretty much every month. So stay consistent with that, and you'll pretty much be safe. Just get good entries. Don't blindly jump into stuff. And with that, I'm gonna let y'all go, and y'all have a great evening, and y'all have a good one. Catch y'all in the morning, family. Peace. Oh, one last thing. I will be creating another watch list for tomorrow. I haven't decided if I'm going to make it a live Zoom or what, but I am making a monthly like reversal list. So every month I like to do a list of stocks that are setting up for nice reversal patterns on the month time frame. So because last month oil was running so hard, there wasn't a need to do one. It was there wasn't going to be much change to that. But this is we're coming up on the end of a quarter in about 3 weeks. So there could be some potential changes that are, about to occur. So we just want to be mindful of those, keep those in mind as we kind of move our trading plan through the next quarters. And, this war stuff is picking up. So I don't see no reason why oil would slow down. So with that, I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have a good evening. Catch y'all in the morning. Peace.